Hey everyone, welcome to Canal Days, and thanks for joining us for today's episode of the St. Patrick's Chapel of Holyoke, Massachusetts. I'm your host Carrie, here with my co-host, local historian and founder of the historical tours of Greater Holyoke, Robert Como. As your personal tour guide, Robert will lead you through some of the most iconic sites and the legends of historic significance throughout New England's preeminent and pivotal state of Massachusetts. With his expert insights, every monument and memorial story comes to life. Afterwards, don't forget to check out his website, holyokecanaltour.org, to access the full Canal Days video and podcast series. Also, check out his free in-person public tours he offers throughout Western Mass and the 2025 schedule for these special events. You can also book personalized private tours for groups of all sizes, tailored to your interests. To discover all that and much more, remember to log on to holyokecanaltour.org. So, in what year was the St. Patrick's Church established?
The chapel was made in the year 1899. It's attached to the St. Jerome's Church, which is from, as a parish, 1856, as a church, 1860. And it's probably the biggest Catholic chapel anywhere in Western Massachusetts. And it's one of the few that has a name to it. And that's quite rare. Across the street from it, there's another chapel for the nuns called the St. Joseph's Chapel, made in 1872, much older than this one. It's much smaller too, but it's just for the nuns only. This other one, St. Patrick's Chapel, is for the public, and they have a lot of masses in there lately. You can see the front of the chapel here. That's St. Patrick's up on the third story up. The patron saint of Ireland, of course, and maybe even call him the patron saint of Holyoke. So we're at the side of St. Jerome's Church itself. And that's a big chapel, so we'll walk around it. But first I'm going to point out across the street is the St. Joseph's Chapel. Also another chapel with a name to it. This one's not open to public. It used to be the Nuns' Chapel from 1872 up until about 2002 when finally the Holy Catholic High School left there. That's 130 years of being a chapel. And has a slate roof. Now it's apartments. So towards the end I might walk around that one too. Okay, in the back is a statue of Mary and Jesus. And I'm getting a better close-up of St. Patrick here. Alright, so brick facade like its companion in the neo-Gothic style, like its companion. And it has a couple of spires, one each side. You don't want to outdo the church when you build a chapel, but that is a mighty big chapel. And I think the reason why is that Patrick Harkins, who was a pastor during an extremely long term of times, almost 36 years at this church, he had built a complete campus which included a hospital on the other side of this block, 2 schools, 2 convents, enormous rectory. And he knew that a chapel would have lots of functions for daily activities that would serve the campus and the people that lived in this neighborhood a great deal. He has a slate roof on here, like on his companion, and spires towards the back. Okay, and it has a nice stained glass window that would be above the beyond the altar itself, so we're in the very back of both the chapel and the church. Now, there's a third chapel associated with this whole entire campus, and that third chapel is the pastor's chapel. So the priests have a place to also pray. Now the chapel in St. Patrick and St. Jerome's are connected with a walkway by design, and the priest chapel is right here, a little bit beyond the sacristy level. And this is the side of the St. Jerome's that was burned the most during the fire. This is Jeremiah O'Callahan's gravestone. He's buried here. So now we're in the back of the St. Joseph's Chapel, which is right across from the St. Patrick's one. And here they also had a place for an altar, so the nuns could have their own mass. Here as served by one of the priests of St. Jerome's. They do have buttresses along the side, and it's in a neo-Gothic style. So all three chapels are in the same architectural style. Also the slate roof and a tiny bit of a cross up there. And this is the face of the area. That's where you had gone in the chapel. But the nuns had a place to walk down the hallway and go already on their own. So chapel after chapel on the St. Jerome's campus itself. Thank you.